Hello everyone, my name is Rupam. I'm currently a business analyst. Welcome to Analysis Trends. So this is a BABOK Learn Along series. So today we are going to discuss about the chapter 1.4, the structure of BABOK guide. In the last video we have covered the chapter 1.1, 1.2 and 1.3 subtopics, and today let's get started with structure of BABOK guide. So the structure of BABOK guide states that there are six knowledge areas. Other than six knowledge areas, we got business analysis key concepts, underlying competencies, then you got techniques and perspectives. So these six knowledge areas are actually the chapters within BABOK guide, starting from chapter 3 till chapter 8. So it's not that it is in a sequential way. It's basically a logical understanding of business analysis tasks. So other than the six, there are four chapters, five chapters we can say. One is first is introduction, second is business analysis key concepts. Third, I mean the last third one would be the underlying competencies, then the techniques, and then perspectives. Let's go into extended content of BABOK guide first. So you see the business analysis key concepts define that how a business analyst task should be, what is the content, what are the concepts. Underlying competencies is basically the characteristics, knowledge, behavior, how a business analyst should actually be working with this business analysis tasks. Then we have techniques. So techniques are the mean to perform the business analysis activities. It's like a method or tool that we can use to perform that task. Perspectives are way of uh, being into that shoe and then analyzing that particular process at a various points and various views, right? That's a perspective. Then we look into 1.4.1, that is key concepts. So there are key concepts within BA analysis task, that is the business analysis core concept model. The whole key concept 1.4.1 is a chapter 2. Basically, every topic is covered detailed in chapter 2. So, in a high level term, key concepts are the core BA analysis concepts or content that will help business analysts to understand the basic key functionality terms of a business analyst. Then you got the knowledge areas, that is 1.4.2. So knowledge areas are of six, right? What we mentioned. So let's go into each of them detail. So chapter 3, which is business analysis and planning and monitoring. Basically, any business analyst need to have understanding of how should the planning should work and what are the metrics and measurement that is used to monitor that particular planning we are doing, right? That is actually discussed in business analysis, planning and monitoring. And also every task need to be monitored while you are working as a business analyst, right? So that is already been detailedly explained in the business analysis, planning and monitoring chapter, which is chapter 3. Then we got illustration and collaboration, that is chapter 4. Basically, illustration is nothing but drawing out information from the stakeholders, and collaborating is a stakeholder engagement, right? So you'll learn about how do you do that in a more deeper sense, how do you engage with your stakeholders in that chapter. Then you got requirement lifecycle management, that is chapter 5, which is the third knowledge area. In this, you will able to understand how do you use the requirement, how do you basically identify your requirements, how do you manage, collect, and store your requirements in a deeper sense. You'll understand that in the chapter 5. The chapter 6 is strategy analysis. What is the strategy, what is the tactical method, what is the way you're going to perform that task or perform that analysis is actually defined in that particular area. Then you got requirement analysis and design definition. Basically, requirement analysis is nothing but you analyze all the requirements, find out the gaps, probably find out all the gaps, as well as you also move from current state to another state, right? So you'll have a lot of gaps there. You will define each and every requirement, and based out of requirements, you probably design a solution, and that's where the design definition comes into picture. A solution, a pre-solution would be identified in that chapter, and we can cover that in a deeper sense when you go into the next chapters. Then you got solution evaluation. Basically, you evaluate the solution. Basically, you evaluate or you assess that particular information or the solution outcome, so that it will be basically satisfying with your actual need, your initial needs, and you will realize the value of what you are getting out of each evaluation or performance you're testing, right? So this six knowledge areas are actually six chapters of BABOK guide, and you need not to read it in a sequential order. That's what BABOK says. It's more of a logical sense how you want to understand the chapters. And you see the diagram there. It shows how each of the chapters is related to each one another, and it's like moreover these are all your actual core tasks. Okay, then we got tasks. So basically, task is nothing but a set of procedures that need to be performed, right? And that's where the task of business analyst is nothing but in each chapter, there you have elements. You have elements in a sense, those are tasks that need to be performed while you are planning, while you are requirement gathering, while you are when you are recording information, while you are doing requirement lifecycle, when you are doing strategy analysis. So these are all covered in the task. So every chapter of the knowledge area has this subtopics like purpose, description, input, elements, guidelines and tools, techniques, stakeholder and output. Let's say planning and monitoring, or let's say elicitation and collaboration. In elicitation and collaboration, we got a subtopic called prepare for elicitation. So what is the purpose of preparing for elicitation? What is the description of that basically? Then what are the things that you need as an input to prepare for elicitation, right? Then once you take the inputs, then what are your elements, what are your guidelines, what are your techniques that you need to perform to process that or to prepare for registration, right? And then who all stakeholders need to be involved during preparing for registration, and what is an output once you prepare the registration? The output would be you'll create an elicitation activity plan. If you go and check, you'll be able to find the output there. So that is what is defined there. So that's the purpose, description, input, element, guidelines and tools, techniques, stakeholders and output for every knowledge area. For every knowledge area's topic, you will able to find the whole BABOK is in this format for the six knowledge areas. Then comes to chapter number 8, uh, 9 I guess, yeah, underlining competencies. So competencies is but nothing but you got your soft skills, interaction skills, communication skills, interpersonal skills. Everything is defined there. How do you behave, how do you talk, how do you speak, what are your things you need to be aware of around your surroundings and all those, right? And this is again a purpose, definition, effective measures are divided into three formats, like what is the purpose of each of the task, what is the definition of that task, and what are the effective metrics or measures that need to be followed when you learn that competencies. Then you got techniques. Under techniques, the whole techniques, there are 50 techniques in babok. Each of these 50 techniques is divided or is in the format of purpose, description, element and usage consideration. So what is the purpose of the technique? Let's say you got a technique called brainstorming. So what is the purpose of doing that? What is the description of it? What are the elements that need to be performed or need to be followed during doing that? And where is that particular use? What are the usage consideration? Where can actually be helpful for you to do the task, right? So that's the chapter number 10, which is technique, and the format of that chapter is a purpose, description, elements and usage consideration, right? The last chapter, that is chapter number 11, which is a perspective, have many different perspectives like agile, business intelligence, information technology, business architect, process management, change scope, analysis scope, methods, underlying competencies, impact on knowledge areas. So each of this is moreover like a perspective. Every business analyst should also act as a business architect, systems analyst, process analyst, data analyst in Agile, in Scrum, in any method it might be. So it's like a overall 360 degrees perspective of a business analyst. And that's where we'll say that you will able to understand the whole babok guide by learning the whole key concepts, applying techniques to it, understanding every perspective of the technique, and then using your skills, that is your underlining competencies, interpersonal skills, to communicate better to each and everyone. So this is all about the chapter number 1.4, and by this we have completed the first chapter of the babok. If you have not watched the previous video, then go and watch the previous video, which is chapter 1.1, 1.2 and 1.3. In this video we have covered 1.4. In the next video we're going to start with the chapter 2. Okay, so stay tuned, stay connected, follow me on LinkedIn. You see the LinkedIn link there. Then you see the Analysis Trends Instagram page, and also follow our website, that is analysistrends.com. And for more content, please do subscribe for YouTube channel, press the bell icon and stay connected. Thank you so much. Have a good day. See you again back soon. Jai Hind.